Hi Flosstube, my name is Callie and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give an update video today on all of my state fair entries. I bring them to be entered this weekend, and so I'm excited to see if any of them won anything. And I'll find out at the end of the month if they did. And also I wanted to give some updates on my 2 work in progresses that I have currently going, and also just to let you know what I've been up to, which I'll save that for the end of the video. So with that, let's dive right into all of my state fair finishes. The first one I want to show is one you've probably already seen if you've watched any of my previous videos, and that is my Merry Christmas Y'all ornament. And it is all done in a color and cotton conversion that I did, and it's finished on sticky board with some scrap fabric I had, and I made a coordinating cording to go with it. And next up is in what they call the holiday corner section. So they have things for like Mardi Gras, Hanukkah, Christmas, Easter, Valentine's, all of those holidays. And so I made a pillow for Easter. And this is the Bedelia Bunny pattern by the Artsy Housewife. And I did the pom-pom trim on the edge and a cute green fabric on the back. I stuffed it entirely with the crushed walnut shells so it'll give it some heft and not easily be knocked over. Also in the holiday corner, I actually have my first punch needle that I've ever done, and that is the Sealed with Love. I am thrilled with how this turned out. I wasn't entirely sure. I mean, I had never done it before, so I didn't know what to expect. But it's really cool getting to do it with the embroidery floss. I thought punch needle was only done with wool, so that was really cool to experience. And it uses all of the called for floss, which is Weeks Dye Works. And it's framed in my favorite framing company, Signed and Numbered. And this is actually the second punch needle I've ever done. And so this will go for St. Patrick's Day, obviously. And once again, this is also done with embroidery floss as well. And it's just a combination of DMC and other ones I had on hand, like Color and Cotton, Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks, all of that. So I finished it on a book, and I love the spine. It goes so well with the design. And so when you display it, you'll just prop it open here on a shelf or on a tabletop. It'd be very cute. So now moving, oh, also this is in the holiday corner as well. And this is my T is for Turkey. And I did all of the called for on this one as well. And once again, another signed and numbered frame. I ended up doing a custom size for this just so I could get the right proportion to frame out this piece nicely. And this one you can do either standing up or hanging on the wall. And then they have a section for just pillow finishes and cross stitch. So I did the Mama Loves You GB bingo pillow, and I stuffed it with what's called K-Pock, and that's just an alternative to the fiber fill that you can get from the craft store. And so I chose a variety of numbers that correlate to special dates, and that means something to me. And I just chose a variety of vintage buttons I had. And so it's backed in a French fabric from Sajou. I feel like it complements the whole thing really well. Now on this one, it falls into the category of 13 stitches or fewer per inch. And so let's see if I can get it here without the glare. I chose to do glass on this piece just because with the black fabric, I didn't want any fuzz or cat hair or anything to cling to it. And can you guess where this frame's from? Signed and numbered once again. And with this design, I ended up doing my own conversion because the colors that were shown on the front of the pattern weren't reflected in the color that were given. So I just went and picked colors that I felt closely matched to the front. And then I have my last piece here is for the 14 to 18 stitches per inch, and this is the Real Comfort Sampler by Modern Folk Embroidery. My sister-in-law loves Jane Austen, and so this is actually going to be a Christmas present for her. So I made a few changes. First of all, there's a section here on the bottom that's supposed to be just all alphabet. I obviously left that off. And also at the top here, I did her birth and death years to just, I liked it better than the dates that were on the pattern, which were to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the book Emma, which is where this quote is from. And with that, those are all my state fair entries. Of course, I'll keep you updated on how they do. So now, moving on to my only 2 things that I have in progress, and that's because all of these state fair items just took up all my time. And also, I have a lot of costumes that I'm making currently for Tarrant County College due at the end of September, so I honestly won't have that much time for stitching. But when I do, I'll get to work on these too. Now, I think I showed this in my last video, but this is the progress I've made so far on Jane Hopkins. This is my first Hands Across the Sea samplers. I have seen so many people working on her, and it's just, I just couldn't be left out, so I had to start her as well. So this is all stitched with Auvera Soie Swaddle silk floss. Let's see if I can get, it's a little bit brighter in person. There we go. But I love the sheen that the silk floss gives, and currently the only thing I've changed is right below the vase, I have left off her name. I don't know what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna fill in with some more or if I'm gonna put my initials and the date I finished. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm pleased with the progress I made. And this is also the first time I'm stitching on a scroll frame, which I'm loving how it is, and I will probably do the majority of my full coverage or larger samplers on a scroll frame, so that way I don't get any hoop marks, and it's just nice to see it all laid out in front of me. And then the other one, which technically is a new start, I mean, I haven't showed it yet, but this is the Dorothy sampler by Fox and Rabbit. Don't have a ton, let me see if I can get it, there we go. I don't have a ton of progress on it, but like I said, I've been really busy sewing costumes, but I'm thrilled with how it's turning out. I'm doing 1 strand of floss over my 36 count fabric, over 1 strand of floss over 2 on 36 count. And this is a custom color conversion I had by Roxy Floss Co. And I couldn't be happier. I am loving how it's turning out. It's gonna be a tight squeeze for sure. I think I'm only gonna have a 2-inch margin on the edge, but that works out fine because I do my own framing, so the 2 inches shouldn't be a big problem. And it may be a state fair entry next year. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it, and even if I hope I get it done by then, because that would be really cool to enter that one as well. So I thought I would let you know what I've been up to the past couple months since I filmed. And the first thing I did was compete in what's called Project Tutu. It's very similar to Project Runway in the sense that it's a mystery on what your materials will be, what the challenge will be, who even your dancer is. And so you'll have about 36 hours over 3 days to create it from start to finish. And man, was it a whirlwind, but it was a blast. I had so much fun. I'll put in a picture here of the finished product, and I may put in a couple photos of just throughout the couple days I was there. And you know, while I didn't win, I had personal goals I had set for myself and I had accomplished those, so I definitely feel like a winner. And plus, you get a finished costume at the end. And that was held in Jackson, Mississippi, and so I drove here from North Texas to Arkansas, where my parents live, just to make a pit stop, and my mom drove with me down to Jackson so I wouldn't have to make the drive by myself, especially coming back, so that I wouldn't, you know, fall asleep on the road on the drive back. But so not long after Project Tutu, I went with my family and we visited Boston, New Hampshire, and Vermont, and we were there for about a week, and I love the Northeast. I mean, my mom and I have gone in the fall, so I've got to experience all the beautiful colors and leaves and just all the fall activities you can do up there. So it was neat getting to see it during the summer. And we spent most of our time in Burlington, Vermont, and then we drove to and from going to Boston. We went through New Hampshire. My dad loves to get the stamps from visiting the state capitals, so we got to tour the one in Concord, New Hampshire, and of course Montpelier in Vermont. And we also got to see the most amazing fireworks show over Lake Champlain in Vermont, in Burlington. And when they said it's Vermont's best fireworks show, I 100% agree with them. It's the best one that I've ever seen. Just with the variety of fireworks, just the scale, it was just amazing. And so we came back into Boston, spent a day there, and I got to have a gluten-free cannoli. Oh my goodness, I had been waiting a long time to have one. And then, let's see, after we came back, I pretty much started right away into creating the costumes that I'm currently working on for Tarrant County College. And that's probably why you won't see a video from me for a while, just because I'm gonna be busy all the way through September. And oh, also I did want to mention, I did draw a new giveaway winner for my project bag. I didn't hear from the woman who won. I reached out to her, gave her a couple weeks, didn't hear anything. So the new winner is Kim Goldman of Contented Needleworker Kim. I've already reached out to her and I've sent it out, and so she's already received it and loves it. And so I also wanted to share kind of a new thing I was looking at getting into. I love to knit and crochet, and I love anything fiber. And so I was considering buying a spinning wheel and trying my hand at spinning. And what sparked my interest in spinning to begin with is, I forgot to mention this, when we were in Vermont, we visited a Shetland sheep farm. And part of the tour and the experience is that you could try and spin some wool on a spinning wheel she had. And once I sat down and tried it out, I knew, okay, I've got to do this for myself. That's going to be a great addition to all of my hobbies. So you may, in the future, have some spinning content, my progress, my journey, and all of that. But with that, I think that concludes today's video. Thanks for sticking around. If you want to like and subscribe so you don't miss my next one, which I don't know when that will be, probably in a couple months. But with that, I want to thank you for watching my videos. Bye.